Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. This is a video I'm so excited to share with you guys, but before we get started, be sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you as part of my crafty family here on YouTube, and don't forget to check out my newsletter over on my website, CorinneBlackstone.com. You can also find a lot of free SVGs, and I created a shop full of some of the SVGs that I have designed as well, so feel free to check those out. I'm going to show you today how to take your Cricut from printing and cutting this kind of small page to being able to print and cut a full page of stickers. In this video, I'm going to use Nito brand clear sticker paper. I am obsessed with this for sticker paper. It's so far been my favorite to work with. It's really, really nice, so glossy, and the Cricut does a great job cutting it. Now, if you're watching this in March 2021, they are having an incredible sale right now for the month of March, which is National Craft Month. So happy National Craft Month to everybody. But you can save 50% off of their 10 packs of sticker paper and all their printables by using the code MARCH50, MARCH50, or you can save 25% off of all of their other size packs using MARCH25, MARCH25. So I'll link everything down below for you guys so that you can get in on this awesome deal, but I love these labels. If you guys have watched me for a while, you know that I don't tell you I love something unless I actually love it. I've been using these for a while and I'm so pleased with them. They're really high quality and really easy to use. So let's go over to the computer so I can show you guys how to set it up so that you can cut a full sheet with Print and Cut. So I'm going to show you guys how easy this really is to do. You can do this in PicMonkey. Just create a free profile. I have a professional profile, but you can do this with the free one. All you're going to do is go to File, Create New, and you want to go down to where it says Blank Canvas. All the way down at the bottom, under all like the Snapchats and the Instagrams and all those preset sizes, are some more options for just print sizes. What you want to do is find 8.5 by 11, which is right here. Select that, and you're going to have this 8.5 by 11 page. The first thing that I like to do is change my background. I'm going to change my background right now to a dark color. The reason we're going to do this is it's going to make it easy for us to see our offsets on our stickers as well as the little registration marks that we have to put in the corners. So what I'm going to do is pull in some images that I just made for fun. I made a couple animal offsets a while back just for something fun, so I'm just going to pull in a couple of those just so we can use them. We'll use these little penguins. Those guys are pretty cute. Definitely need to size them down. They are way too big. And then we'll pull in a couple more, but we can size a bunch of them down. So let me do that really quick. All you have to do is drag and drop. Very simple. Now that I've pulled in a couple images, we can just resize them however big we want them to be for our print and cut. Because I'm going to do a full page, I want to make quite a few just so you guys can see that you really can fit a lot on here. So what I can do is copy and paste my image and make sure that they all are going to fit on the page. You can, again, do these kind of however you want. You can slide them around, twist them, turn them, whatever works best for you. But I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to do a couple rows of this just so this goes a little bit quicker. So all I did was copied the whole row and pasted the whole row. And then I'm just going to put it right below the other one. And do the same thing with another row. And again, you can do these with any PNGs that you have. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do should work just fine. So there are our designs. I think that looks pretty good. So the next thing that you'll need to do is to get some squares because we need to put those into each of the four corners. This makes sure that our print is going to print at exactly 8.5 by 11. So what I need to do is go to graphics, and all I do is search in the graphics for the word square. Just choose the solid square. It's going to bring the square up and then this graphic menu. Go ahead and change the graphic color to white, and you're going to size it down a whole bunch because this is way too big. We just need like a really small square. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but we do need to make sure that it gets lined up in this corner. This is one of the reasons that I like PicMonkey because it'll line it up directly in that corner pretty much for you. You just have to kind of move it and then see how it gives you those red lines and it tells you where it's lined up. That's how you know it's lined up in the corner. So all I do is do the copy and the paste, and I'm going to need to do 4 total. So this is number 2. I'm going to get that lined up. Then I'm going to paste again. That'll be number 3 for this corner. Again, you need to put it in all 4 corners. If you don't do all 4 corners, this will not work. Then go ahead and click paste again. And down in this corner. Once we've done that, we need to make sure that we change the background color back to transparent. So scroll all the way down and find your black box. And if you click on that and click pick color, it's going to give you all your color options, but right below the color line is the word transparent. Go ahead and click on that. Now we're done with this part. So what we need to do is download this PNG. So click download. You want to make sure that you download it as a PNG. Click download. I'm just going to call it forest animals. And I'm going to put it into my Cricut folder. And I'm going to put it under print and cut so that it's easier to find. Then just click save. It'll save it as a PNG. So we're done here on PicMonkey. Now go over to Inkscape. You can get Inkscape at inkscape.org. Don't be intimidated. This part is really, really easy. If you have troubles with Inkscape, take notes as I go through this. I'm going to try to go through this fairly slowly for you guys because this part's super easy, but I know Inkscape is scary for a lot of people. So what you'll do first is you're going to go to File. You want to go to right down here, 3 from the bottom, and it says Document Properties. Click on Document Properties. There's not a whole lot that we need to do here except that we need to change our page size. Page size for me always defaults to A4, and it probably does for most people. So you want to make sure that you change your page size to US letter. You can see it's just a slight looking difference between the A4 and the US letter, but the US letter is really important that you use this, and there's a reason that we're using Inkscape to print. I found that this was the easiest way to print without having to worry about any margins from the printer or the printing device. So we're going to go ahead and choose the A.5 by 11 and just close. Now what you'll do is go to File, click on Import, which is about middle, and find the file that you saved. So we saved these as woodland creatures, I think, or forest creatures. What did we save? Forest animals. Click on that. Now it's probably going to open really big, so don't freak out. But right here where it says the bitmap image import, just click OK. You don't have to change anything. See how it opens really, really large? Don't freak. It's okay. What you'll do is up here at the top, do you see right here where you have a W and then a bunch of numbers, a little lock and an H and a bunch of numbers? And then you have this MM. Click on the MM and change it to the IN, which stands for inches. Now what I'm going to do is click on this little lock. This is just like the Cricut lock, so it'll keep everything in the right proportions. Change the W here to 8.5. Now it's going to make it 8.5 by 11, which is exactly what we wanted. Now just line it up with your box. Perfection. And now all we have to do is print it. You don't need to save this or anything. Just go ahead and click File. And right about 4 from the bottom, 5 from the bottom is Print. Click Print. You want to make sure that you choose the printer you want to print it to, and whatever material you're printing on, you'll want to make sure that you have that loaded into your printer. Then simply click Print. I don't have my material loaded yet, so I gotta go do that. But this part's super easy. Just make sure you have the printer selected. So let me go do that. I'm going to do these on some Neato labels. This next step is super important. We're going to go into our Cricut design space and open up a shape and use a square. What we're going to do is unlock our square, which you can do either down here in the lower left-hand corner or up at the top right between the width and the height. We need to make the width 8.5 inches and the height 11 inches. This is the square that we're going to use to make our template on our mat. This is really easy, but make sure that you do this step or your print and cut isn't going to work on a full sheet. So all I'm going to do now is click Make It. I'm going to click Continue right now, and we're going to do this on the medium cardstock setting, but I'm going to show you guys how to set up the mat so that you can cut the template. For this part, I really recommend using an older mat. You really don't want to use a newer mat because we're going to use some painter's tape, and that occasionally will kind of damage the mat. You can use a new mat if you have extras, but I'm just going to use this old mat. It'll be fine. So what you're going to do is take your painter's tape, and I recommend using a pretty wide stance painter's tape. I think this is the inch. And this is just blue painter's tape, nothing crazy, but you want to make sure that you tape all the way across for little over 8.5 inches. Almost, I usually try to do 9, and then you're going to tape all the way down 11. So watch this. So what we're going to do is line this up. It doesn't have to be exact, but it does help to line it up with the top as neatly as you can. And then I'm going to use a longer piece down here. You want to make sure that it does go past the 11, because again, the Cricut does give you a little bit of a spot, like I think it's 0.25 inches, so about 1/4 of an inch, where it is not going to cut. So then I'm going to go down this side. Now here, I like to start right at about 8 just to be safe, and then I go another row over. And you'll understand why. This is kind of hard to show you guys exactly why we do this, but you'll understand when it goes to cut this out why we do this. So I do overlap a little bit. It doesn't need to be a ton, but I do overlap just a little bit there. And then I want to put another row down here at the bottom, and I want to make sure that I go all the way across. Now I can see where my old tape's at, so this makes it a little bit easier, but you'll want to make sure that you have a good kind of border around this. I usually do about 1 inch on this side, 1 inch at the bottom, 1 inch at the top, and then I try to do a little more of 1 inch on that side. Now what we're going to do is load this into our Cricut. Remember, we set this to cut on medium cardstock. Let me pull my Cricut in for you guys. And all I'm going to do is load this. And we're just going to hit go, and it's going to cut that square out. Well, I guess it's a rectangle, but we'll let it go ahead and cut that rectangle out. Once it's done cutting, go ahead and unload it. I'm going to go ahead and close my machine up for you guys real quick. That way we can move it out of the way. And what you need to do now is peel off the inside of the tape, not this side. You want to peel off what's on the inside. So what I tend to do is I'll either get a pin pen or the Cricut weeding tool, whatever I've got on hand, and you'll see that there's an edge where it cut. And you're going to go ahead and peel up that edge. Now, I set it to medium cardstock so that it would cut through both layers when I had a couple spots where it was double layered. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but do you see how it's damaging my mat? It's pulling up some of the green. This is an old Cricut mat, so that's part of the problem. But again, just be aware that you really don't want to use a new mat for this, because this will probably damage your mat. So what I do is I just use this old mat. It works fine. And if it's not quite sticky enough, you can always hold your paper down with another piece of painter's tape. So what I'm doing now, again, just peeling the inside, not the outside, the inside. So you see how you have this thin line over here, and you want to be careful because you don't want to peel off too much, because you need to make sure that you keep the border of your painter's tape, because your sticker paper or whatever you're printing and cutting on, in this case we're printing and cutting on Nito sticker paper, needs to be able to fit inside. So I'm just double checking, making sure I got all sides. Perfect. Now let's go back over to Cricut Design Space, because we need to load the PNG into Cricut Design Space. Now that you've cut that out, go ahead and just click Finish. We don't actually need this square anymore, so you can just delete it. Now we're going to go to Upload, and we're going to click Upload Image. Click Browse, and what we're going to do is go into our Print and Cut folder, or wherever you saved your item, your PNG that you downloaded from PicMonkey. Go ahead and find that PNG from PicMonkey. So remember, I called it Forest Animals. Now it's going to bring up this. I just choose complex. It really doesn't matter. Click Continue, and don't touch anything. Leave it. Don't click on anything. Just click Continue. When it brings up this page, whether it wants you to do the print then cut, or whether it wants you to do this one, which is the cut image, we're going to select the cut image. Now I see I have a little bit of a weird spot here in the squirrel. I might fix that before we go and finish our print and cut, but whatever, it's fine. So you want to do this one. You want to do the cut image. Go ahead and click Upload. Select this one, which looks like just black blobs, and insert your image. Now again, it might insert huge. Don't worry. Totally okay. What I'm going to do is change my width to 8.5. It should change your height to 11. Now it says it's 11.4, so it might be off just a hair, but it'll be okay. But we do have these weird holes in the squirrel, and I'm just going to get rid of those really quick by using contour. I don't know where those came from, but I really don't want them. So I'm just going to find all these little holes and click on them, and it'll get rid of the holes in the squirrel. I guess when I made the PNG, it probably had that little open space and I didn't notice. So now that our holes are gone, we can go ahead and click continue. What we're going to do is click on the word make it. You're going to leave it as a cut image. You're not going to move it on this screen at all. Don't touch it. Don't move it. Click continue. Now you want to set it to cut whatever material you print it on. So in this case, I'm using the Neato sticker paper, which worked really well on sticky note. I've done it on a couple other settings, but sticky note has really been the best one that I've tried. Sticky note, and sometimes I use more pressure. So you may want to play around with your paper that you're going to print and cut on before you actually commit to doing this. So let me take you back over to the machine. I'm going to show you how to put the sticker paper on there, and then we're going to cut it out. Here's the sticker paper that I'm using. This is the Neato clear gloss paper. And sometimes we all know Cricut can be really a pain when it comes to glossy paper. So this is a great way to get around their machine not really reading our marks. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we line up our sticker paper inside this area. So what I like to do is I will press it against this edge of painter's tape in both these corners and just get it so it's straight as I can get it. And I think I need to peel it up. I don't think I got it quite right in the one corner. So let me just, and I've got a little bit of a fuzz on here, so let me get that off. There's an old piece of paper from one of the cuts that I tested with. So what you want to do, again, you just want to make sure that you get this as straight as you can, as even as you can. If you're having problems getting it straight, just peel it up. It's okay. You need to make sure this part is done correctly. If it's not going to print and cut correctly. That looks better. Much, much better. Okay. So now because I am using an old mat, I do want to make sure that I press this down really, really well. I will put my sleeve over my hand to do this because sometimes the ink might get on your hands, but you can do this with your hands as well. The Neato sticker paper is great because it really doesn't run, but I do like to try not to get too much of my oils from my hands on this. Now, if you are concerned about your paper peeling up because you used an old mat, you can just use a little piece of painter's tape, and I will usually use this right at the very, very tippity top. And you just want to make sure that you don't cover these corners because it is going to cut those, but that's okay. We want it to. And you want to make sure that you're not covering any of your sticker when you do this. So anywhere that it's going to cut, anywhere on that offset. So I just put just a little bit of tape along each edge. Again, this is just because I'm using an old mat. I should use a newer mat, but I don't like to ruin them with the painter's tape if I don't have to. Let me pull the Cricut machine back in for you guys, and we're gonna get this cut. So again, I set this to sticky note, and we are gonna go ahead and cut this on our Cricut Maker. You can do this with the Cricut Explorer as well, so don't worry, you can absolutely do this with either or. I will say by adding these rhinestones, you guys are, I'm sure, gonna ask about those. It does make the lid open a little bit slower. So sometimes I just give it a little push. So now what you're gonna do is just load it like you would any other time you load material. And don't get discouraged if your print and cut doesn't work right the very first time. This took me like 4 or 5 tries to get it right. So don't fret if it's not exactly right the first time. Just keep trying. I do say use like cheap paper, cardstock the first time you do this. Do not use like your good sticker paper. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you guys what it's going to do. So now it's going to not, instead of like reading the print and cut lines like it should, it's going to cut out our squares in our corners. Now I watch this and babysit this one because if it starts to cut off and crazy, I will cancel it. But it should, with any luck, cut really nicely around our designs. Now again, with this, I do recommend having some form of an offset around your stickers. It does give you a little bit more leeway for any kind of just slight off measuring that may happen when you place your design onto your mat. So do recommend an offset if you're doing these, but this is a great way to trick your Cricut into doing a full page print and cut. I'll let you guys finish watching this cut. let's go ahead and unload our stickers, and I'm going to show you guys this because this is amazing. I think this is going to blow your minds. This is pretty cool. So make sure that you don't remove this if you want to continue to do the print and cut, but you can redo this anytime. But I like to keep one mat that just has the template for my oversized print and cuts on it. So I like to just be very careful when removing this extra painter's tape. Like I said, you just need to be super conscious of the border that you created. Again, if you need to redo it, you saw it's very easy. It just takes a few pieces of painter's tape. It's pretty simple to do. Not really anything that you need to worry too much about. But if you want to keep it, just be really gentle when removing this painter's tape. If you end up with a little bit at the top, you can just peel that off or just leave it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't get in the way. Now what we can do is take our stickers off. I like to flip my mat over and remove my stickers by bending my mat. Now, these I did as a die cut, which is why I use the sticky note setting. I like a die cut sticker, so I can peel these either way, but I'll show you this way so you guys can see it better. But look at this. This is a full page. A full page. Whoops. Looks like it didn't cut that squirrel quite as well. There we go. He was just stuck by his little ear. No big deal. That is a full page print and cut, my friends. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Nito sticker paper. The Nito sticker paper is amazing. And look how little paper that wasted. Could I have fit more on this? Probably, if I really wanted to squish and squeeze and stuff. But that is a full sheet print and cut. That is 8.5 by 11 and a full sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and peel some of these guys off for you. Look how cute. And this sticker paper is so nice. You see how glossy it is? It's thick, it's heavy, I love it. Works really great. The backing is nice. Such good quality paper. Now, if you are watching this in March of 2021, it is National Craft Month, so just be aware that the Nito sticker paper is on sale. Their 10 packs are 50% off using code MARCH50, and you can shop that through the link in the description so you can get that discount. And then also they're offering their 25 packs or bigger packs for 25% off, which is going to be code MARCH25. Again, you'll shop that link in the description to get those discounts. But look at this. These things are so nice. I love them. Guys, Nito is a fantastic company. I really like their product. I wouldn't push their product if it wasn't nice. This is a great quality sticker paper. It's definitely a good alternative to using printable vinyl if you wanted to make just stickers, because printable vinyl might be a little bit overkill. But what I love about these stickers is that they are clear, they are glossy, they are really super clear. Some of the glossy ones get a little bit frosted, but these are really clear, really nice, super pretty. So this was the label for the product that I was using in case you want to know what it is. What I love is it's made in the USA. For me, that's something super important, and I really love that I can get a really nice sticker paper. These are both inkjet and laser compatible, which is awesome. So if you have a laser printer, you don't need to buy an inkjet printer, which I love, and I think that's a super helpful thing that you can have, because usually you have to buy one or the other, and it's super annoying. I hope you guys had so much fun learning this really cool hack. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. This is one of my favorite things that I learned to do on my Cricut because it does save me some materials. I'm able to get a few more stickers out of my sticker paper than I would normally using the Cricut Print and Cut. If you don't know, Cricut Print and Cut really limits you to only 6.75 by 9.25. In this one, we were able to go 8.5 by 11, and we could fit a ton more stickers onto our sticker paper. I hope you guys had so much fun here learning this awesome Cricut hack. Have a great day and happy crafting!